Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be going over crawler log folder, and in this one you have a file system that keeps folders and it keeps a log each time a user performs a folder change. And the operations are double dot that goes up a folder, dot which is the same, and then just a variable which you go down a folder, and this is always existing. So given a list of strings that denote like what operation you're doing, write how many steps it takes to get back to where you started, basically. The minimum number of operations. So you're always gonna, well, I guess we'll get to that. So return the minimum number of operations needed to go back to the main folder. So let's go through these examples and then figure out like what we need. So in the beginning we start at like the root folder, and then we go down to D1. Then we go down to D2. Then we go up a folder back to D1. So this is like from root to D1, from D1 to D2, from D2 back up to D1, and then we go down to D2 again, and then we just stay in the same folder. So we're basically here. And how many operations does it take to get back to the root? Well, we're just going to use the back operation twice. Yeah. And also notice that you can't, like if you try to go up and you're in the root, you can't go anywhere. So you can never go like up past the root. So basically what I was getting to is you're either going to be in the root folder in the end or some subfolder. And then you basically have to figure out like how many levels deep you are, and then you just perform the back operation that many times. So in this example 2, you go down to D1, then you go down to D2, then you stay in the same folder, so you're in D2, then you go down to D3, then you go up a folder, then you go down. So you're down 3 levels, which means you need to go up 3 levels. So all you really need to know is like how many levels deep you're in, and then that's the answer to go back, because you'll just use the back operation to go up. So you go like back, back, back. So let's look at this example. So we basically start at the root, we go down to D1, then we go back up, so then D1 goes away. So we just go back up to the root. Then we go back up. You can't go back up from the root. Like the root is the root. You can't go back up, so you just do nothing. Then here you do nothing and do nothing. So you basically are at the root already. So it's a pretty easy one. You basically have 3 cases, right? So let's go through all those cases. So case 1, the easy one, which is just this. This means essentially for our purpose, do nothing. So just like ignore, move on. Because you just stay in the same folder, you don't really care, you don't have to do anything. Okay. Case 2, the double dot. So this means we go up a level. So let's say the root is level 0, and then every folder we go down is 1 more level. So the root's level 0, and then this is like level 1, level 2, level 3, level so on. So we go up a level, but if we're at level 0, then we do nothing. And then everything else, they tell you it's a valid folder. So everything else, you just go down a level. And then we're going to be at some level. The root is level 0, and we just return. So if we're at like level 5, that means we're 5 folders deep. So it takes 5 returns to get back to where we're at. So all we need to do is just keep track of this level variable. So let's go through that example, these examples using that. So in the beginning, we started at level 0. Then we check. So this is not a dot or a double dot, which means we go 1 folder down. So we increase the level by 1. Then this is not a dot or a double dot, so we increase the level again. This is a double dot, so we decrease the level by 1. Then we increase by 1. Then we do nothing, right? The dot. So we're at level 2, and we start at level 0, so this is going to be 2. Okay, second example. And this is pretty much the easy way to do it, and the easy way to do it is just check for dot and double dot, and everything else, we don't even care about what folder we're going into, we just know it's valid. Like, it doesn't matter at all. So in the second example, let's go through that. So the first operation is not a dot or a double dot, so we go down. Then not a dot or double dot, so we go down. Then we do nothing. Then we go down again. Then we have a double dot, so we go up 1. And then we go down 1. So it's just 3. And finally, for the last one, so we start at level 0 again. So not a dot or double dot, so we go down. So it's operation 3. Then we have operation 2, so we go up 1. Then we have operation 2. We can't go to negative, so we just stay at 0. And then we have operation 2 again, so we can't go to negative, so we just stay at 0. And how long does it take to go from 0 to 0 is just 0. That's basically all we need to do is just these 3 things. And we can check in this order, and then we don't even have to care about the folder. We just check for these two, and if it's not these two, then we know we go down. So that's what we're going to be coding. So we can have level and so we can say if log equals this one, we do nothing, so we just continue. And then if log equals this one, we go up a folder, but we can't go up from 0, so we could say a bunch of ways you can do it. One is this way. So basically, if it's 0, we're going to get 0, and if it's anything else, then we'll get that number. So if it's like 5, we'll get 4 here. So this is one way to make sure it doesn't go past 0. You can do a bunch of other things. You can also just check for if the level is 0 if you want. And then the last case is we go down. So we don't care what folder, we just know we go down. Then all we have to do is return the level. Okay. And yeah, so basically it. Pretty easy one. So this, like, once you understand, this is like the main thing for these problems. Once you understand like what's the information I need and what's the information I don't care about. So once you understand like, okay, the folder I'm in doesn't matter. All I'm caring is, am I going down, am I going up, or am I saying the same thing? That's all I need to know. And then the way to get back to the main folder is just literally whatever level I'm at, just keep going up until you get back there. So this is linear. I guess technically it's like if a string is O of 1, which I guess we'll just assume it's O of 1 because they're very small. Yeah, they're like 10. So we'll assume a string is like O of 1 to read. Then it's linear. And this is O of 1. And yeah, so this one should, curious what this says. Maybe it'll like factor in string length or something. So on. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if these strings were like really long, it wouldn't be like n. It would be like n times the length of the string or something. But yeah, it's going to be all for this one. Pretty easy one. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.